What's up, gang? Here we got another classic firearm for you. The Honey Badger, inspired by the film Honey Badger. Uh, please subscribe if you haven't already. If you are subscribed, I will give you a hug. Just give me your address and I'll come over and I'll give you a hug and kiss on the cheek. Um, anyway, we got Cheese Man back with us again for another
And,
spectacular showcase.
backed by popular demand.
Yeah, popular demand. We have at least one comment mentioning him and wanting to eat a charcuterie board with him. Please
Yeah,
leave a comment if you want to see more of Cheeseman, or see Cheeseman, or hear more of Cheeseman's voice. And we're just
I
waiting on the thing to load. What was that?
I don't know why you wouldn't want me. I don't know why you wouldn't want me back. Just saying.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright.
So you better leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment. Support Cheeseman. And yeah, we'll get straight into the history of this gun. So originally, uh, Armalite, which was a company that existed for a brief time period, created the AR-15, which was eventually developed into the M16 that was adopted by the U.S. military during the late 1960s. But another proxy conflict outside of Vietnam that was occurring during that time period was a battle between reptile and whatever species or category honey badgers fall under. So it's a well-renowned fact that honey badgers and snakes don't get along well, and honey badgers kill snakes a lot. However, in the jungles of wherever honey badgers live, there was a new threat, and it was the pythons. So pythons before hadn't been a threat because honey badgers are just like completely terrifying and can kill whatever they want. But the pythons had developed their own firearm, the Colt Python. The Colt is just a misnomer to distract you from the fact that it was developed by a reptile and reptiles are taking over. Uh, and in response, the honey badgers had to do something.
So the response to the production of the Colt Python by the Python snakes, they decided that instead of going with the sidearm route, they decided that they would take the route of the carbine rifle, and but they didn't just want any ordinary carbine rifle. They wanted to be stealthy. They wanted to sneak up behind those pythons with their loud butt revolvers. Um, and so they decided to integrate a suppressor into these brand new rifles.
Yeah.
So what they came up with was the very creative, innovative named rifle, the Honey Badger. The one that we all know and love and use in Phantom Forces today.
We can take this time to look at Armalite's influence on the honey badgers as a whole. So, Eugene Stoner, a well-renowned gun designer and also stoner, created the Armalite AR-15, which was used by the U.S. military under the name of the M16. He had a very good relationship with the honey badgers because he might have shared a certain illicit substance with them back in the 70s or 60s in this case, while it was still illegal. So because of his good standing relationship with the honey badgers, he helped them develop the honey badger carbine. But the honey badgers obviously implemented their own ideas about wanting to have it carbine length and integrally suppressed. So yeah, Eugene Stoner, great friend of the honey badgers, great gun designer, good pals with Kalashnikov. Overall, pretty cool guy. I mean, we should probably cover just the whole entirety of the war between the pythons and the honey badgers. You want to start us off, Cheese Man?
Yeah, so the conflict started basically when, you know, the almighty power above created both the python and the honey badger at the same time and decided to put them in the same domain. Automatically there was conflict due to the aggressive nature of both the honey badgers and the pythons. However, the honey badgers were faster and a little bit stronger, whereas the pythons were more sneaky and venomous. So basically, in order to fend off each other, they would fight very often, and these would be gruesome battles. They would end in the death of many families of both honey badgers and pythons. It's just, you know, it was a very disturbing sight, and especially when the pythons became, you know, more intelligent and
Developing
developed the firearm, resorted to using lethal force. That just kind of tipped the honey badgers over the edge, and Lord Honey Badger himself proclaimed war in the year in the year 25 BC. Against the pythons, and from then on it was a bloodbath.
Yeah, and you know the honey badgers, they had the lower hands. I guess that's the phrase in that one, because they wouldn't meet Eugene Stoner until the 60s. You know, sharing a little illicit substance with him. But they wouldn't meet Eugene Stoner for a little bit, so they were losing against these pythons for a while, and they needed help, and Eugene Stoner was that help. And if you remember one thing from this video, just remember, Eugene Stoner made the AR-15, but he also saved a lot of honey badgers. Now,
That's true.
Yeah, not making any of this up. This war it's been devastating. Like, you don't see it a lot. You can find some nature documentaries that will cover the whole thing, but usually they try to gloss over the fact that they were using lethal force via firearms, especially Australian documentaries, because they don't have guns in Australia. They don't want the Australian civilians to find out that they can get guns via just finding a python / honey badger.
They really have tried to erase the war kind of out of history in order to save the young ones from the immense terror and gruesomeness of the battles. But we thought that, you know, it's important enough to be sharing these stories of the battles with our viewer base, because we know that you guys are able to handle this kind of information, and we know that you'll keep it safe from the Australian government.
Yeah, because
so do us a favor and don't like.
I'm already
don't tell
wanted
this
by
to
the
your-
Australian government for reasons that
Yeah.
shouldn't be stated on stream or on video or in any format recorded ever. There's a certain tree in Australia you might not know about that contains a certain substance that is illegal internationally, and I might have stolen a few of those from Australia. So I think this would kind of tip the scale, and they just send a letter to the CIA to tell them to kill me, just like Fred Hampton. Anyhow, yeah, the honey badger eventually got adopted by some militaries, small numbers. The US government utilized it in special forces roles after finding it on some dead honey badgers after some conflicts. And it's been a fairly effective weapon in special forces roles due to the integral suppression and overall handiness of the carbine. Yeah. As far as Phantom Forces goes, it's a very well-rounded carbine. I don't think I can think of a single carbine that I'd rather use that would with a suppressor. It's got decent range. You can pick off enemies at range. Close range, it shreds. It's got a high enough fire rate. What are your experiences, Cheese Man?
You know, quite similar to the L2A3. It has a very good hit fire accuracy. When you put the right attachments on
Yeah.
it. So yeah, you can use this at many different ranges. You know, it has, you know, a decent amount of ammo in it, so you know you can go a while without. You know, if you string together a good kill streak, you know can go a while without having to pick up ammo or switch your guns. So that's a good touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, you'll often see a lot of higher level players using this weapon, and for good reason. It's just, you know, it's just overall something that you wanna at least, you know, as a lower level player, if you find it, you definitely want to pick that gun up.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Like the video, leave a comment. Call me a stinky butthead. I don't care. It gives me engagement. It's more likely to put me
Give
on
your mother a
recommended.
kiss goodnight.
Yeah, give your mom a kiss goodnight. Like, she needs it, probably, if you have a mom. I'm sorry if you don't. Or not sorry if you have two dads. Got a little off track there. Anyhow, 400,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and I'll end my own.
In the name of God, in the name of God.